But Senator Clinton cannot claim the experience that she's claiming. She has never taken a phone call at 3 o'clock in the morning when war has begun, or some terrorist has bombed this country. She has not. Neither is Senator Obama. Neither is Senator McCain. So what should we be looking at in our candidate for president? I think Senator Obama has made it clear. The word is judgment. Temperament, character, integrity, but mainly judgment. Judgment to take that call at 3 o'clock in the morning and not to react off the cuff, but to call in those around you, those expert in military use, those expert with intelligence, those expert in all areas that would require a decision to be made as quickly as possible. That, my friends, is what Senator Obama, I trust, would do on day one. To use his judgment as he did already in not voting or speaking out against this war in Iraq, which I don't know how many books. You can fill a library with the reports, books, former military this and the former CIA this have come out showing clearly that this war was based on lies and that American men and women have died for a lie. That is what our now sitting President Bush needs to deal with, as well as Dick Cheney and the other cronies that got us into this. But the thing that separates Senator Obama from Clinton is judgment, not experience, because neither of them have any experience in sitting in the office of the presidency. So they must hopefully have skilled, thoughtful judgment before they make a decision. And again, Senator Obama has shown that thoughtful judgment. He's shown judgment in opposing this war. He's shown judgment in discussing Musharraf in Pakistan, where Senator Clinton supports Musharraf, as well as McCain. But it is clear, at least to me, we're sending billions of dollars to Pakistan because they're supposed to be our allies. It's believed by many people in Pakistan that Musharraf had something to do with the assassination of his opponent, that poor woman. Sorry, I forget the name. And it is true and known that Al-Qaeda exists and recruits and trains in Pakistan. And the United States gives millions to this guy. So I think Senator Obama's thoughtful judgment as he looks at all the information about Pakistan leads him to the conclusion that we have to look at them deeper and harder, especially when it comes to giving them money when he takes office, and not just assume just because he talks a good talk and comes over and visits every now and then that he is an ally of ours. I don't see how he can be an ally of ours as Senator Clinton and George Bush and Senator McCain believe if he can allow the Al-Qaeda to conduct operations in his country. That doesn't seem like an ally to me. He's concerned for his own political skin, and to be quite frank, he is playing us, as they say. He is playing both of us, his people in his own country and us here in the United States, or the office of presidency. So the question is always judgment. If you haven't done something, there's nothing wrong with not having done something or having a limited experience in something. The question is, when you do the thing that you're about to engage in, does that person have good judgment? Does that person take the time to consider all options and not be moved by whether it's political or some other pressure to make a hasty judgment, as Senator Clinton did when she voted for the war in Iraq, to which I might add, as she discounts and downgrades Senator Obama, Senator Clinton was asked that question many times and given it an opportunity to save face and move on when she was asked if she made a mistake. And that Senator Clinton will talk all around that word mistake. I've heard her in the debates. Wolf Blitzer asked her, "Do you think you made a mistake?" And I don't know, it took about 5 minutes to hear not the word yes. And she never did use the word yes. And tried to blame it on George Bush, her actions on George Bush. Now, I believe that that's what many of us in this country are upset with George Bush about, because he won't admit mistakes. And that's been reported in the news, that George Bush won't admit when he's made mistakes in his conduct of this war, and in the conduct of Katrina, his conduct of just handling domestic issues. So our candidate for president, or one of our candidates for presidents, has that same problem. Can't admit a mistake. And what's so wrong with that? Husbands and wives admit mistakes so they can stay strong. Brothers and sisters and family members, hey, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. They come together. People with opposing views say, God, I made a mistake. We shouldn't be arguing over this. There's consensus. We can find common ground. That is the kind of president I want, and I believe that many Americans want in office. A president that will take in thoughts and advice of others, and is willing to say, if he pursues a certain process, and that process ends up not where they had hoped, to say to the American people, I made a mistake, and we're going to retry this a different way. Americans are very forgiving. Matter of fact, when we hear someone say mistake, that lets us know that they're human, that they're one of us, and we forgive them, and we move on. So for Senator Clinton not to simply say she made a mistake, which would have muted Senator Obama's approach that she made the wrong judgment, she chose to give us political speak all around the issue. So Senator Obama and Senator Clinton are not very far